Horns up and welcome to a brand new episode of Headbangers Kitchen. Today's recipe ticks 3 boxes. It's healthy, it's delicious, and it works on a budget. And you can make this for yourself or you can make it for your entire family. We're making some keema pao. Now this is an Indian dish with minced meat cooked with some onions, some tomato and some spices and served with some bread. And keema basically means minced meat and pao is a kind of bread. But you can also make this low carb and keto friendly. As always, I'll put all the information on the blog post on headbangerskitchen.com. The link is just below this video in the description box. Anyway, enough jibber jabber, let's get cooking. For this recipe, I'm going to be using lean ground beef so that I can keep the calories lower and still pack that protein punch. You can also use ground chicken or turkey or even lamb or pork. It's up to you. Just remember, chicken and turkey are generally leaner and have less fat in it compared to lamb or pork. The first thing I do is chop up some onions and I slice them up saute style. This makes for a very different feel and texture when you cook a dish. I prefer it like this, but many people like to finely chop their onions. Some people even use onion puree, but this is how I like to chop them. Now in a non-stick kadai, I heat up a tablespoon of ghee and then I add the onions and I start to saute them. I will also season the onions now to assist the process, and also it's good to season your dish every step of the way. We want to get these onions nice and brown, so this is going to take a bit of time and you have to be patient. This process of cooking the onions and browning them is called bhunao. So we are going to bhunao the onions. Now I have a little hack to speed up the process a bit. Once your onions start to brown and darken on the sides like mine, because I probably had the heat up a touch more than it should have been, you add a nice big glug of water. What this does is it almost leaches the caramelization from the bits that are browned and then stains the rest of the onions. And as the water cooks out, the onions start to fry again and they brown more evenly. And you can repeat this process as many times as you like, depending on how much you want to caramelize your onions. Now that my onions are as brown as I need them, I add in some chopped ginger and some minced garlic. And then I saute this till the garlic starts to brown. Now ginger and garlic powder are also acceptable alternatives, as is ginger garlic paste. But I just wanted to add them whole like this. I think it's going to taste better. Now I just move the onions to the side a bit because it's time to add in my ground beef. I add in the beef and give everything a good mix. I use my spoon to break up the meat as I don't want big clumps of meat. I'm also going to season it at this point with some salt, turmeric powder, some Kashmiri red chili powder, which is the non-spicy kind, some coriander powder, some cumin powder, and finally a bit of garam masala powder. And now we saute that meat. What this does is it also cooks out some of the rawness of the spices. Now I will add in some tomato puree and some water and give everything a good mix. You can also use tomato paste and water. You can also puree a fresh tomato, or you can even use chopped tomato if you like. They all work. Now I will cover it with a lid and cook it for about 8 minutes. Halfway through, which is after 4 minutes, I will open up the lid and give everything a stir and just check how much liquid is there in the pan. I will also taste it for seasoning. Now mine was definitely drying up a bit more than I like, so I added some water. I also added a touch more salt which it needed, and now I'm going to cover it and let it finish cooking. After 8 minutes, our keema is looking good, and now I want to make this a keema ghotala, which means it has egg in it. So I will crack in an egg and give it a good mix. Now the heat in the pan will cook off that egg, so I'm going to finish it with some fresh coriander. And then I give it one final good mix, and I think that my keema is ready, but oh no, I've forgotten my vegetables. So I'm going to throw in some frozen peas. I'll also add a splash of water, cover it with a lid and cook it for 2 minutes more till the peas are done. I take the lid off, give everything one final good mix, throw on a little extra coriander for garnish, and then my lean, mean, muscle building keema is done and ready. It looks so good. This is perfect for meal prep or to feed your family for dinner or lunch. Yummy! Now I will be serving my keema with pav, which is a local bread that we get here in Mumbai city. It's just like a white bread, but it's unlike anything you've had before. I don't know how they make it, but it's soft and fluffy and delicious. And if you're on keto or a low carb diet, don't worry, you can just make one of my keto breads or my keto naan. Click on the I button on the top left hand corner to get the recipes. Anyway, that's our keema pav, which is a high protein meal and perfect for any diet, even if you're doing low carb or keto. If you're doing keto, just throw some butter on top of that and you're good to go. There are so many options. Now, of course, I got to show all my non-Indian friends how we eat this keema pav. So you break a piece of the pav and then you get right into that keema and scoop it up with the bread. Use your hands and get down and dirty with it, and there you've made yourself a perfect bite of keema pav. Now, how good does that look? Anyway, enough jibber jabber, time to taste. Alright folks, let's taste the keema pav, and I'm really excited to eat this. Let's dig in. Oh man, that is so tasty. Yum. And I love having peas in my keema, and even that egg, it just adds to the texture. Yum. Like, you can even eat this with a spoon, you don't have to have the bread along with it. Yeah, that is a winner. I would say winner winner chicken dinner, but it's not chicken. But you can also make this with chicken. You can make it with lamb, with pork, whatever you like. Anyway, I'm going to go and enjoy this now, and I'll see you on the next episode of Headbangers Kitchen. Until then, cheers and keep cooking. Hey guys, in case you didn't know, I have done a keto keema recipe, and you can click here and watch that, or click here for some more ground beef recipes.